Hello friends, I welcome you all to EduTap. So here we have brought for you lecture number 45 under your fast track series. So this series is important for RBI Gr B and NABARD Gr A of 2019. So telling you about what are we covering through this particular series. See, we'll be covering economics and social issues, current affairs, which are important for RBI and NABARD of 2019, and also in the same series we would be covering finance current affairs, which are again important for both the examinations. And if you are preparing for NABARD particularly, then you should refer to our separate series called as ARD in News, wherein we are covering agriculture and rural development current affairs. And you can see about our previous results here. We have been working in this field from quite some time now. You can see here that in RBI Gr B of 2017, 27 of our students got selected. Then NABARD Gr A of 2018, there were 26 selections made when there were only 46 generalist seats. And RBI Gr B of 2018, 280 of our students, they have gone through the interview phase. So we are still expecting the final results to be confirmed, and we are expecting a brilliant result here. Okay, so coming to our lecture of the day, firstly we'll be covering ESI, then we'll move on to the finance section, and then we'll discuss some MCQs which would be derived from the same news. So we'll be discussing February 6th to 10th, and let us see then what is your first news. Okay, so in your ESI section, economics and social issues, the very first news is about the Asia LPG Summit. So this is important because this is the second edition of Asia LPG Summit, and India has hosted the second edition. So from February 5th to 6th, this summit has taken place in the national capital of New Delhi, and the theme of the summit was LPG Energy for Life. So you can see here Asia LPG Summit. So obviously the focus is on the LPG and its usage, and especially this summit becomes important if, are you able to recall the most important scheme which is related to the LPG? What is the name of that scheme? Are you able to recall that? That is very important. So the name of that scheme was PEHL. So that was the scheme launched by the government so as to provide the LPG connections to the women head of the family. So now coming back to the summit now, see. So summit, important thing is it is organized by the World LPG Association. So World LPG Association in collaboration with three PSUs, the oil companies, that is Indian Oil, Hindustan Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum. So these three PSUs you have to keep in mind along with World LPG Association. Okay, theme also is important, and the place where the summit has taken place. And why is this summit important? I have told you the name of the scheme. Now we'll discuss about World LPG Association, because these associations, the international ones, are important for your exam. We'll see about them. So this LPG association, called as WLPG A, was actually established in the year 1987, and it has a special consultative status with United Nations Economics and Social Council. So this is very important, and this association is considered as the voice, the authoritative voice of the global LPG industry. So that means the full LPG industry of the world is represented by this particular LPG association. So this is important, and this association has organized this LPG summit in India. So that would be it from this news. Okay, so let us see what is your second news. Government to set up unified body to regulate IFSC financial services. See, this is under our finance section. I would move this news in that particular section. Let us discuss it now. So this is important because IFSC financial services, I wanted to particularly cover these IFSCs through this particular news. Okay, because not only this news is important, that International Financial Service Center Authority bill has been passed, but what are these IFSC centers? This is also important. So cabinet has approved the establishment of a unified authority so as to regulate all the financial services of these IFSCs. So you have to know, the name is also written here now. So the first IFSC of India is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and that is called as the Gift City. So what is that? Gujarat International Finance Tech City. So Gift City is actually the name of the first IFSC of India. It was earlier proposed to be set up in Mumbai, but later on it was set up in Gandhinagar. It is still being developed. Okay. So this particular unified body, when set up, would provide a stimulus for the development of IFSCs in India. Not only this Gift City one, but other financial centers also. Okay, so that would obviously generate employment in the financial sector of the country. So here I've mentioned the first city, you can just read about here, Gift City, but we have to discuss about IFSCs itself. See, what is an IFSC? Basically, this International Financial Service Center is aimed at bringing back the financial services and transactions which are carried out in offshores. That means which is not actually carried out in the country, but they are carried out outside. So as to bring those transactions back in the country, you see, this is very important because it is going to play a direct role in your balance of payment. So Indian corporates, it would become easier for them to access the global financial markets. So this is important, the particular role of IFSCs, where in India it is so. I will tell you that India is planning to build and develop more IFSCs. Currently China has the most successful running IFSCs currently. Okay, so yes, that would be it from this news. Go through the slide properly and you'll be done. Okay, so this is again important, International IP Index 2019. So this index is released by the US Chamber of Commerce, GIPC, the body's name, Global Innovation Policy Center. They have released this International IP Index. So IP is actually related to your intellectual property. And for us important is to know the rank of India. So this year India's rank is 36th. So it is important because out of the 50 countries, initially India was ranked in the last year it was 44, and now India has improved to the rank of 36. So this is very important. And let me tell you a very interesting thing. You have to know anyhow the top rankers of all the indexes, right? So this IP index, international one, is released actually by the US Chamber of Commerce, and the index has actually been topped by the US only. So this would become easy for you to remember. So US Chamber of Commerce, and the index is topped by the US only. So top 5 countries are mentioned here: US, UK, Sweden, France and Germany. So these are the top 5 nations out of the 50 countries wherein India stands at the rank of 36th. So there are various indicators which are used here, particularly for innovation, like patent, trademark, copyrights. All these are considered here. And we are done with your ESI section, although we have covered your fun finance related news also in that section only, that was related to IFSCs. So now let us see what is the next news. Okay, tax exemption to the startup companies. See, this was just a notice by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So DIPP, the earlier name it was, now it has been renamed to this Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT. DIPP has now become. This was also a news and we had covered that. You must be able to recall such news. Okay, so this is a notice which has been given out by DPIIT for the easing of the norms for the tax exemption to the startup companies. So we are just trying to cover it up quickly. What is it all about? So the notification has said that the definition of a startup has been changed, and now according to this notification, an entity would be considered as a startup if it satisfies the following things. So let us see, this is important for you guys, just go through it, and all these startup related schemes we are trying to cover, but in this particular video just this notification would be covered. And if you guys are able to recall any other startup scheme, or a state government had launched this startup innovation policy, if you are able to recall that, let me know, please mention below in the comment section. That is just a few videos, in the earlier videos we have covered that. Okay, so let us see what is this notification all about. So according to this notification, an entity, when it is incorporated as a private limited company and up to a period of 7 years it is incorporated and registered under the Companies Act, it would be considered as a startup. So initial 7 years time period is there, and for the biotechnology sector companies the period is 10 years from the incorporation. So this is very important, particularly for biotech. It is 10 years because the this sector, particular biotech, is very important. The gestation period is very important for any new innovation to come up. So that is why the 3-year extra time period is given to them. Then turnover of the entity for any financial year has not to exceed rupees 25 crore. So if it exceeds 25 crore, it would not be considered as a startup. And finally, the fourth point is entity which is working towards innovation, development, improvement of products or these services. So that means the business model is actually scalable with the potential of high employment generation. That means even if the startup is not, it has a scalable model, but the employment is not right now, it is not up to the mark, but it has the potential to create wealth or employment, then it would be considered as a startup. So these are some very technical points I've discussed here. The schemes we will try to discuss again in the coming videos. You guys must be able to recall these things. These are very important one. These have been taken directly from the PIB. Okay, so let us see your next news. Cabinet has approved the amendment to the banning of the unregulated deposit schemes bill. So this is just about, you should know what is this unregulated deposit schemes. If there are some deposit schemes being run which are not regulated, that is a menace for the people who are not financially literate. It becomes a problem for them and they end up losing their money. So cabinet has approved the amendment so as to make the measures more stringent which are related to these deposit schemes. Okay, just go through this, that would be it for you. The bill particularly says that best practices from the state laws should be taken, and the worst victims of these are, I've already told you, the poor people who are not financially literate or even otherwise they are illiterate. So they don't know how these schemes operate. They just deposit their money and sometimes they lose their money, and that is actually a problem. So some typical features I've mentioned here, let us just try to cover them up. I'm sorry. So 3 different types of offences have been mentioned in this bill. Unregulated deposit in this particular scheme bill, you can just go through them. Then bill also provides for the severe punishment, and yes, that would be it. If you go through it, you'll be done for this news. Okay, so let us try to discuss your MCQs. Question 1 is, India has recently hosted the 2nd edition of Asia LPG Summit. Which of the following oil PSUs has organized this summit? So this is a typical question. You cannot give your guesswork here because the name of these PSUs have been mentioned and you have to identify those which are involved in the Asia LPG Summit. Indian Oil, Hindustan Petroleum, Bharat Petroleum, both A and B, or do you think all of the above given 3 have organized this summit? So World LPG Association in collaboration with all the 3 given PSUs. So answer becomes option E. Okay, question 2 is, India's only international services financial center is located in which of the following states? So IFSC is being asked here. So the gift city, I have just given you a hint, is in the state of. Are you able to connect to this question? IFSCs are very important for you. The answer is option D, Gujarat. Gandhinagar is the place where this gift city is located. What is India's rank in the International IP Index 2019? So in the year 2019 index, India's rank is 36th. Last year it was 44th. So India has improved in this ranking. And question 4th is the final one. Which of the following country has topped the International IP Index 2019 released by US Chamber of Commerce? So the releasing organization is mentioned here, although you have to keep this in mind. GIPC is the name of that organization which is under US Chamber of Commerce. So it has been topped by US. So option A is the answer here. Okay, so here are your solutions to the questions. And that would be it from today's lecture, guys. If you guys have any query, you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in. You can also call us or even WhatsApp us at this number 8146207241. And I would recommend you guys to visit our website also, www.edutap.co.in. And if you guys want to download the PDF of this lecture, then you have to go to the Telegram channel of EduTap. It is mentioned here. It is also in the description below. You can just click on that link and you'll be taken to our EduTap channel, Telegram channel, wherein you can download the PDF for your revision later. And if you like this video, please do not forget to click like, do subscribe to our channel EduTap, and share this video. So wishing you all a very happy learning from the team EduTap, and keep learning, guys. See you in the next video.